Hey, welcome to another Retro Rocha with me, comedian Jerry Rocha. I competed in several retro gaming pageants and was named the belle of the ball in several retro gaming pageants, and now finally I get to host this show. And today, at the request of the homie, Gamers in Control, go check him out, I want to talk the Super Nintendo game Revolution X. Or, as it says on the cartridge, Revolution X, Music is the Weapon, featuring Aerosmith. And it would have been an even better title if it explained more of the plot. Revolution X, Music is the Weapon, in which Aerosmith tries to convince a teenager to murder 8,000 people. I think every game should have their title fill out the top of the cartridge completely like that. Rival Turf, we really tried to toughen up a Target back-to-school ad from 1993. For the sake of the video, let's just call it Revolution X. It's a Super Nintendo port of an arcade shooter where you have to help the band Aerosmith defeat an evil dominatrix who's running a totalitarian regime. It was a really fun arcade game back in the day. The graphics were awesome, the sounds were super loud in a really good way. It was a great time waster while my friends and I were waiting in a lobby to go play laser tag. Of course we were all single. The arcade game is a kind of an on-rail shooter, but it also lets you choose your own path. And wow, does that take a massive hit in the Super Nintendo transfer. The audio takes a massive hit in the Super Nintendo transfer as well. You know, the arcade game had Aerosmith songs that would play during each stage. The Super Nintendo transfer just has about 3-second snippets of Ragdoll and Eat the Rich that plays over and over and over again on a loop. And the sound quality of those loops are as if someone were in a helicopter, but they really wanted you to hear an Aerosmith song. So while in the helicopter, they held their cell phone up to a speaker. One thing I loved from the arcade game that they kept in the Super Nintendo port was that they play a Muzak version of Love in an Elevator when you're in an elevator. And the visuals. Yeah, they take a hit. They take the kind of hit that Mickey took from Mr. T in Rocky 3. Spoiler, they don't recover. I mean, still, kind of fun, maybe? I mean, if the last game you had ever played before this was the Atari port of the Pac-Man arcade game, then this is like Super Metroid. Playing Revolution X in the arcade and then playing the Super Nintendo transfer is like watching Tony Dorsett's 99.5-yard touchdown run on TV and then going, you know what, I want to see that again. But instead, all you see is me at 5 years old with a Nerf football trying to recreate that run in the hallway of my apartment with different pillows posing as a Minnesota Vikings. And there's still an evil dominatrix. Look, mom knew how to party. There really isn't much variety in the enemies of the game. I mean, it gets a little different when you get to the Amazon level, but that's pretty uncomfortable because, you know, just more than a smidge racist. I don't want to know what they left out. You should have seen what they were going to do with the Mexico level. Then also in this secret lab, you fight these Hulkamania Power Ranger ninjas. And their kids, I guess, who then turn blue. That's about it. But still, kind of fun. I mean, you can't destroy everything around you like you could in the arcade game, but you can destroy enough stuff around you. Or how if you find each member of the band Aerosmith hidden in the game, you get to party with them at the very end while 3 seconds of Dude Looks Like a Lady plays over and over and over and over. And since in the Super Nintendo version, you also get to rescue every member of Aerosmith, why the fuck isn't Tom Hamilton a playable character in Smash Brothers? He wrote Sweet Emotion. What else do you need? So I guess, you know, kind of fun. You know, if you were like wrongly imprisoned and you finally got out and this was the first video game you got to play. But even then, after a couple of levels, you might be like, you know, I might kill someone for real just to go back. My cell, is it still open? Any chance? And arcade games that have been ported to home consoles, they have added things. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time added a few stages. So why didn't they add a Janie's Got a Gun stage? You'd play as the girl who uses the gun on her abusive father, and then there's just like a 3-second loop of Steven Tyler going, over and over and over. And then you also have several babes who are all the same woman that you have to rescue throughout the game. And that's uncomfortable because just more than a smidge sexist. All right, kiddo, you want to stop a regime in its tracks? You might see a tit. Okay. The babes must have been designed by the world's sleaziest topless bar owner. Even if them cages are open, y'all keep dancing. Revolution X also has maybe the dumbest yet great greatest final boss fight in any video game ever. When Helga, the evil dominatrix, either turns into or just summons this thing. And I know everybody wants to talk all this shit about Last of Us and Red Dead Redemption being masterpieces. You know what? Save the perfect 10s until those companies have the balls to have the characters of those games fight this thing at the very end of it. So, you know, kind of fun. I mean, let's say you were blind your whole life and then you were miraculously granted the gift of vision and this was the first thing you got to see. I think that might be better because everything you see afterwards is going to look even more amazing. Interesting tidbit, the original game was going to be called Revolution X, Music is the Weapon, featuring Peter, Paul, and Mary. And I don't know what happened. The game was their idea. It was about 90% done when Peter, Paul, and Mary backed out. They had to scramble to get Aerosmith to fill the shoe. The babes that you rescue were actually Peter, Paul, and Mary's idea. And in fact, they were going to go more hardcore with it. They were going to let you kill the babes if you wanted to. That's actually Peter, Paul, and Mary's car. A lot of Poonanian protesting went down in that thing. But sadly, Revolution X, Music is the Weapon with Peter, Paul, and Mary will never see the light of day. Just like Star Wars 1313. It's just something gamers are going to have to dream about. But still, Revolution X, you know, kind of fun. Like, let's say you had to play the game to make sure that everybody you loved didn't die. But then again, you might be like, can I stop and just roll the dice on an afterlife? Or, you know, maybe reincarnation at the very least? Thank you for watching another Retro Rocha with me, comedian Jerry Rocha. Please subscribe. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it. Spread the word. Click that bell so you're notified every time a video comes out. All that good shit. Is there a game you want me to talk about? Email me, rocha@retrorocha.com. Oh, and remember, music is the only weapon to truly turn hate into love. Oh, and another thing. If you're talking the good old days, well then hop in. You're going my way. Ooh!
These guys are maggots. They're putting chemicals in all our food.